So, Cami, welcome to the staff of St. Columba's. I am so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad we could take a couple of minutes for you to be able to introduce yourself to the people of St. Columba's. Um, I wonder if you could tell us just in a little bit about what's exciting you about joining this community.
Absolutely. I am just so thrilled and excited to be joining such a strong, empowering group of people that are excited about making a positive difference um, for the community in general and for the betterment of each other, and doing that with social justice to really make God's kingdom on earth.
Yeah, that's great. Um, Cami, I know that you have you're a native from Arizona, and you have a master's degree in educational administration. Can you tell us a little bit about your prior experience and your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am born and raised Arizona, home of the five C's. That would be copper, climate, cattle, cotton, and citrus. A little trivia. My mom is a teacher, and as hard as I tried to not go into teaching, I think that it's just in your blood. And so that led me into working with lower income schools in Arizona. And in that capacity, what I learned after several years was that I was really using teaching as a vehicle to reach families that were experiencing extreme poverty. And that I was doing what I could to help those students break the cycle of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, that's when I realized that, well, I'm using this teaching as a vehicle, but rather than, as much as I love history and social studies, maybe it was time for me to be able to focus on explicitly helping to break the cycle of poverty. And that's what brought me into nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. And Teach for America. What else?
Yeah, so I worked with Teach for America for several years, where I trained pre-service teachers that work in low-income schools how to be effective lesson planners and how to effectively complete lesson plans, and how to really work with the students in low-income communities and to work with their families. How do we engage their families and bring them in as partners into their children's educations?
Yeah.
And from Teach for America, I was able to receive an opportunity to work with the UN Refugee Agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in as the national trainer, where I was helped all of our 5 offices to develop their offices and grow their offices to learn how to tell the stories of different refugees' plights around the world, and how to empower people to get involved in stories and lives that they would never meet.
Yeah.
And after that, I went to the Fuel Fund in Maryland, where I was able to really work on helping families specific to Maryland with their needs with energy. So people needed help paying their electricity bills. And that was really able to focus not only on Maryland, but also on learning how to work on system efficiencies and system growth and programmatic growth.
Okay, great. I know, Cami, in some of our conversation, you've distinguished between equality and equity. And I wonder if you could say a little bit about what the difference there.
Absolutely. So I think that equality is kind of a catchphrase that we all get excited about. We kind of get swept away in this exciting stream of conversation about equality. But I'm going to challenge that that's not the stream that we should be swept away in.
Okay.
I think that the stream we should be jumping completely into wholeheartedly is the stream of equity. And the difference is that with equality, it's the idea that everybody gets the same treatment. No matter what their background is, no matter what their current status is, everybody gets the same treatment. where equity looks at where have we been in our past, where are we at now, and what do we need to level the playing field,
Okay.
and give someone a fair shot. And that is how we break the cycle of poverty, is giving folks what they need where they're at in the current time.
Thank you. Yeah, that seems like a critical difference.
Yes.
Cami, I know you've just started, literally in the last couple of days, but given the devastating impact of the coronavirus, do you have ideas about how St. Columba's can respond?
I think that this one kind of, I don't want to say that we were caught off guard by this, but it's certainly something that none of us have experienced before. And it's knowing no boundaries. It's touching all of us one way or another. And so I think that there's different places that need assistance, from education and parents and how we can support parents at home, to food lines. I heard a statistic, I believe somewhere in New York, they're coming short of $1.3 billion needed in the food pantry from previous years. To people needing, folks that are feeling on their own and abandoned because they're locked up in their houses. And so I think that there are a lot of different roles that we can play. I think that, especially with the economy, we're going to need mentoring. St. Columba's is in a great position to be able to mentor people, especially looking for new jobs and new skills. We have a lot to offer as a parish.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've mentioned a whole bunch of things. It'll be interesting. It'll be good holy work for us to try to figure out how our gifts and our passion can be moved by the Spirit to get to work. So, in parting, anything else that you'd like the people of St. Columba's to know about you?
I am just so excited to hit the ground running, and to work with people that are excited to make a difference, that have a fire in their hearts and in their souls, and a yearning to be with our brothers and sisters, to knock the walls down. That our church is not the physical location, but it's the group, it's the people. I keep picturing Sermon on the Mount. Good news was not always in walls.
Uh-huh.
Some of the best news was outside.
Yeah.
The tomb was outside, and we have this amazing opportunity to work with each other and learn from each other and empower each other to get out and to make God's kingdom on earth. And that's exciting. It's humbling, and I can't wait to do it with St. Columba's.
Thanks, Cami. We look forward to getting to know you more fully and carrying out this ministry together. So thanks for these introductory words.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.